everybody, welcome back to another video. What if you guys, today is part 2 of my new character customization series. Today we are going to be getting into doing the clothing frame, the hair frame, and the faces frame. So let's get right into this. So we're going to begin with doing a few designs. So let's get into the designs. So what we're going to first be doing here is designing our first before we do anything, we're going to add a something into frame 1 where we last left off. We're going to add we could just probably duplicate the title here, but yeah, duplicate this title, bring it down below here, and we're going to call this one gender, and then we're going to create, like, I don't know, we're going to add a completely new button in here. Station it right there. One, and we'll do source ends light like we did the other ones. Text scaled, and we'll call this male. And I don't know, give it a blue color. There we go. And make sure it is the size of there, so about like that. And we'll duplicate it, and we'll call this one female, and give it a pink color to it, and we'll make sure to name these buttons. We're just going to name this button female button, and we'll name this male button so we know which one is which. Alright, so that's pretty much all. Those are going to come into effect later, so we're not going to be worrying about those quite yet. So let's get into it. So we left off at skin color, so we're just going to start with the clothing frame, I guess. So let's get into it. So let's go ahead and close that frame. We're going to make a completely new frame, so we can kind of just like duplicate this one, bring it up a bit, of course, and just delete everything inside. Boom, delete. We only need one title, so we're gonna put our title at the very top of this, and we're gonna call it, here, we're gonna call it clothing. So clothing, and now we're just gonna kind of add the buttons in. So let's first, I want to minimize this frame a little bit because we're not gonna need that much room. Okay, so there it is, and we're also gonna call this frame 2. Okay, and inside of this frame we're gonna go and add another text button. This one's gonna be a bit smaller, gonna be about that size. Okay, you guys can make whatever you guys can make these buttons whatever you want, but just for tutorial purposes, I'm making these for my design, and this design and scripts will be available at the end of this series. Guys, also make sure, I forgot to mention this last one, make sure to join my Discord if you need any assistance with anything. Okay, so we just named that button shirt 1, gave it a cool looking design, blah blah blah. So now we're just gonna do 2 shirts. I did 3 in my other design, but so we'll call this one shirt button 1, and we'll call this shirt button 2. And then we're just gonna duplicate these, and we're gonna bring them over here just like that, and then instead of shirt 1 on this one, we're gonna call it pants button 1 and pants 1. Same thing with this other one here, we're gonna call it pants 2, and make sure to name the actual button pants button 2. Alright, now that we have the button out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and add a local script inside of shirt button 1. There's a local script, here it is. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and do the when this is clicked, this is what's gonna happen. So we're gonna do script parent mouse button 1 click connect function, and boom. And then inside of this is where we need to create an event. So we're just gonna go back to our replicated storage, go to our events folder, and you guys see we had our last events there. We're just gonna call this event let's see, remote event. We're gonna call it shirt event 1. Okay, just like that. And we're gonna do game.replicated storage dot events, which is our folder, dot shirt event 1 colon fire server. There we go, just like that. And that's it. So now we can get on to the better of the scripting part for shirts and clothing and all that. So let's go ahead and close events folder, go into our main script that's in server script service, and scroll down. So we're just going to first start off with doing this. So we're going to do game.replicated storage dot events dot shirt event 1 dot on server events connect function. Okay, there we go. And inside of this function, these two parentheses here, we're going to put PLR, and that stands for player, of course. And then now we're just going to do local char equals plr.character, which that is accessing the player's character. And make sure to put an end, by the way, with that, and then we can just go down 2 lines there. So now we're going to actually get to the shirt part. So now we're going to do char colon find first child parentheses quotations shirt, and then outside of that we're going to do dot shirt template equals, and then you can just do quotations. And this is where you want to put your shirt template ID. Okay, so we're just going to find, like, I don't even know, we're just going to find a random one. Okay, so let's just search up shirt in models, and we're just going to take this random one here, suit, pretty cool looking. Let's see, click part, where is the actual, we just need an ID, so like a shirt somewhere, please. Okay, here it is, shirt. So we're just going to take this, it's the RBX asset ID, okay? So just take that asset ID, and we'll keep that for later because we're going to need the pants. We're going to go back in our main script, and we're just going to paste that in. Boom. It's very simple. So now let's go ahead and test that out. So we just click play. And, oh, I forgot our camera is still working. And we disable that real quick. Just go in your play button and disable that local script, so it doesn't like give us the camera script, and we can freely move around. So now we can see our character. So now we just do shirt 1, boom, it changes it, everybody can see this, perfect. And now you can copy this local script. Oh, that's funny, somebody just subscribed. So now we can go into shirt button 2 with that local script and copy the same code you just did for shirt button 1. And instead of doing shirt event 1, we're going to do shirt event 2, go on back in our events and make a new event called shirt event 2. Very simple. Now we go into our main script, we copy this line of these lines of code we just made, go down 2 lines, paste it. Instead of shirt event 1, we do shirt event 2, and now you put a new shirt ID there. In this case, I'll just find another quick one just for the sake of tutorial. Just gonna grab this one, some cool looking Supreme one, copy, delete, okay, and we just paste that RBX asset ID there, and let's test it out. So got shirt 1, shirt 2, boom, easy. Okay, now we're going to move on to pants, and pants works the same exact way, just a little bit different names and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just insert a local script with the same line of code that we did for the shirts, and we need to create 2 new events in the events folder. So we're just going to call one pants event 1, and we're just going to create another one, oh crap, duplicate, called pants event 2, both inside of the events folder. So now we're going to go back to our local script inside of pants button 1. Instead of shirt event, we're going to do pants event 1. like the one we created. Now we go back into our main script here, and we just copy this line of code again, but we're just going to be changing a few things, okay? So now we do game.replicate source.events.pants events 1. Now down here where it says shirt, you're just going to change that to pants. Instead of shirt template, you're just going to change it to pants template. And now we're actually going to need the pants. Probably should have kept that other one in the game, but we'll grab it in a minute. Okay. And now we can go back to our main script, take that ID, paste it in. And now we're going to go to our we're going to copy another local script in pants button 1, put it in pants button 2. Open it up, and instead of pants event 1, we're going to do pants event 2. Go back in our main script, copy this. Pants, instead of pants event 1, we do pants event 2. Down here, you just change the ID, and we're going to go grab that one we just had. This pants ID here, okay? And just paste that in as an example. Boom. Let's go back into our actual area where we're doing this. And again, you can add as many clothes as you want. Just disclosing that now, so you can kind of mix it up here. You can put that with that, or you can do the matching one, suit or the Supreme. So that's very cool. Boom. Clothing, done. Very easy, easy stuff. I mean, it's not complicated. You guys will probably catch on to how all of the scripting is working very soon. I really hope you do. If not, if you need extra assistance, if you're having any errors or trouble, just message me on Discord, please. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on to the hair. So the hair is actually one of my favorite parts. I never got to feature in my last one, but this is going to be great. So let's just create a new event before we do anything else. And remote event, and we're going to call this event hair event 1. Very simple. Okay, now we're just going to create a totally new frame. Okay. Oh. Totally new frame. I'm going to move it down and delete everything inside except the title. And the title of this will be called hair, of course. Hair. So now we add a text button in. Text button, there it is. And actually, we could just go ahead and copy the text button over from here if we wanted. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay, and we're just going to call this hair button 1, and we'll call this hair 1. And for the sake of the tutorial, we're only going to be doing 2 hairs, but you guys again can do any amount of hairs. You can do 100 hairs, 100 different hairs if you want. But let's go, and we're going to call this hair button 2. Boom, very simple. Now make sure to delete the local scripts we copied over. Okay, so now we're just going to create a totally new local script inside of hair button 1. Scripts.parents.mouse button 1 click connects function. Get rid of that extra parenthesis, and then we do a end with a closing parenthesis. Now we're going to do game.replicated storage events dots, and this is where we're going to reference our hair events. So we're just hair event 1 colon fire server open close. Boom. And that is it for the local scripts and the hair button and all that. So you can just go ahead and close that. Now we go back in our main script, and this is where the fun begins. Now we actually get into the hair. But before we get into the main script hair, we're going to need to create another script inside of server script service. So we're just going to create another script, and this will be very important. Okay, it's for storage. It's for storage, storing the hairs inside the character. So we're going to do game.players.player added connect function, and inside of those parentheses we're going to do player, and we're going to go player dot character added connect function, and inside of these parentheses we're going to be doing char, which short for character. It doesn't really matter. So now we're going to do local folder, and this is, we're going to be creating a folder to store the hairs in inside the character. So we do instance.new folder, just like that, and then we scroll down to, or go down to, and then we do folder.parent equals char.head, and then we do folder.name equals hair. And I'll show you exactly what this does one moment. So now we just do two ends with closing parentheses, boom, easy, like that. Okay, so what this does is this creates a folder inside of our character. So we just go look at our character here. This creates it inside the head, of course. So if you go inside the head, you'll see a folder with labeled, the name is hair, and that's exactly what we want. And by the way, we're going to call this script, we're going to call it folder create, just so we know. And that other script that's in there, just call it main, so we can keep organized here. So now that we have that done, now we can get on to, oh, okay, I almost forgot. We're going to need one more thing. So we're going to create another, this is our final script inside of server script service. And we're going to call this script remove hats. And this is just going to be, it's just going to be a simple script that we can get rid of all the player's current accessories. So we're going to do while true do wait 0.1. Sorry if you guys heard that I hit my arm. We're going to do local w equals game dot workspace colon get children open close. Then we're going to do for I equals 1. I just heard another subscriber notification. Konai, thank you for subscribing if you're watching this video now. Hashtag V. I cannot find the hashtag. Hashtag V. Hashtag W do. Sorry, not V. C equals W brackets I colon get children open close. Oh, keep doing that. For I equals 1 comma hashtag C do. Now if open parentheses brackets I, okay, didn't put the brackets, I, oh, that's not in brackets, is it? I, sorry, this is very confusing code. Trying to figure out a way it will just remove the accessories. And then after those brackets we'll do dot class name equals access, oh wait, we forgot to put quotations around that, accessory quotations end outside, then end and end. It looks like we may have messed up there. Oh, just put a C inside of there, boom. And what this does is it removes every single accessory from the characters, from the character when they're added into the game, and that's what it should do, but it doesn't seem like it did. Let me check this one more time. I'm copying this from my other game. Got children, that's right. For I equals 1. Maybe if it's because we put spaces there, I really don't know. Let's try eliminating the spaces there. All that seems to be right. Oh, here we go. C brackets I colon remove. I just forgot to put the remove. Wow. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. Boom. eliminates or gets rid of all the character's accessories, and that's exactly what we want. Now we're done with every single script inside of server script service. There will be no more. Now we're going to go back into main and we're going to get scripting on the hair. Alright, this is where the fun begins. So now we're going to do game.replicatedStorage .events .hair event 1 on server event connect function. Get rid of that stupid extra parenthesis there. And we're going to put PLR inside of this like we have done in the past a couple times. So we're just going to go and add it in because it always bugs me when I don't add it in. But now we're going to do a couple locals. So we're just going to... we screwed up there. Okay. So now we're just going to add a local. It's going to be called local storage equals game.replicated. Okay, before we continue, you need to go in replicated storage, and we're going to create another folder called hair. Okay. That's where our hair is going to be stored. So now we're going to do replicated storage dot hair. Boom. Done. Local. Now we're going to do one more local. We're going to do local char equals plr.character, and that acts as our character. Now we can get into the fun part. So now we're going to do if char colon find first child humanoid. So it's just basically waiting for the game to load the humanoid in the character. So now we're going to do local folder. This is going to access our folder we create equals char.head.hair. Go down 2 more lines, and we're going to do folder clear all children open close. And that, what that does right there is it first waits for our humanoid to load, and then it accesses the folder inside of the character inside of the head, which is called hair. That's our folder inside of the character, and it clears all of the previous hairs. And this, it's just, you'll see what it does later, and I'll explain. Let's get into the rest of the scripting. So the rest of the scripting is pretty straightforward. We're going to do a local head equals char.head, that accesses our head. We're going to do local new underscore hair equals storage colon clone colon parentheses open close parentheses. Now we're gonna go down to, and we're gonna do new underscore hair dot parent equals folder. So this parents the new hair to the folder. So before we continue, we're gonna need a hair, okay? So we're just gonna go grab a hair from my other one. I'm just gonna grab this very simple hair. We're gonna put it in the hair folder in replicated storage, okay? We're gonna call it hair 1. I recommend using this hair. I will have this most likely modeled. I'll have all the hairs I use modeled for you guys to go ahead and take even before I release the whole thing to everybody. But yeah, these hairs work the best. If you want to use your own hair, you're probably going to have to do some adjusting. But yeah, just go back to local storage here once you have your hair inside, and we're just going to do .hair.hair1, and that accesses our hair. So now we can go back down here, and I'll explain why. This one right here. So what this does is it clones our hair that we got from the hair folder in replicated storage, and now we're working with the new hair. So we just parented the hair we cloned to our folder inside of our character. So now we're going to do new underscore hair dot position equals head dot position. So this changes the hair we cloned position to the head. So it's basically putting it on top. Now we're going to need to weld it to the head. So we're going to do local weld equals instance dot new weld And then we're going to go down, we're going to do weld.parent equals new underscore hair. Then we do weld.part0, comma weld.part1 equals head, comma new underscore hair. And that welds the head and the new hair together. Now we're just going to do something to finalize the weld. So we're just do changes cframe.new, and this is very important right here. And I'll tell you why. So this is the position of the hair attachment, and I'll show you why this is very important in a minute. So now we're going to do weld.c1 equals head.hair attachment.cframe, and that allows us to access the hair attachment. And now we're just going to put one more end and we're good, and we can just go move that end back up and we can test this out now. So let's go ahead and test. So play. If you did everything correctly, you should click the button and you should get hair. Not a single error in the output, and yeah. So now with that said, we can go ahead. I'm just going to clone this hair in replicated storage, and we're going to call it hair 2, okay? You guys can use different hairs. I will link a model with all the hairs that I use that work properly. So a lot of hairs don't because they're not the right size. They're not, I don't know, they're not made right. I don't know. So let's just make this hair red, or let's make it like a natural color. Let's make it brown. And now we're going to go into hair button 1. We're going to copy the local script, put it inside of hair button 2. And instead of hair event 1, we're going to call it hair event 2. Go back into events and duplicate the hair event 1 and change it to hair event 2. Simple, we're done with that. Now this is the final part. We're going to go back in main. We're going to copy all of this right here. Copy it. Go down 2 lines, paste it. Instead of hair event 1, we do hair event 2. Instead of hair 1 here, we do hair 2 as well. That's it. So now let me explain or show you what this does. So click hair 1. This puts it inside of a folder inside of our head, okay? And it's already welded to the head so we can walk around, nothing happens. But when we click a new one, it will take that previous hair out, which is the clear all children, and it will put the new one in. So we can just sit here and flip back and forth between hairstyles and hair stuff like that. We can change our pants and all that. Change our skin color. It's coming along great. So now we can get into faces. Let me see how long we've been recording. Okay, yeah, we're probably going to end it there. Next series, or next part, I will have faces ready for you. I actually have faces ready, but like it's going to take a really long tutorial to do all of that, so I don't want to make it too long. 30 minutes is my max, but yeah, I'm going to have faces and datastore ready for you guys. So that's going to be awesome. I will see you on the next part later.